for being here. First, I would like to make mention of the fact that we were really grateful for His Royal Majesty for receiving our president, especially so that today is a Buddhist holiday here in Cambodia. The holiday is intended to honor the saints of their faith, and the king is one of the saints of Cambodia, on account of which he normally is supposed to be in retreat. But he took this as an exception to meet with our president, whom he considers as a very important person. And so we're very grateful for that. And we had requested only for a working visit in coming over to Cambodia, but the government had elevated it to a full state visit. So again, this is one of the significant features of the visit of the president here in Cambodia. We had earlier a bilateral meeting with His Royal Majesty. And you see, the king of Cambodia is a very cultured person, very intelligent, very regal, very elegant, well respected by the people. And I was personally amazed by the fact that our president had measured up to this very important occasion. The president himself was also very regal, very elegant, and very gentle in so far as his engagements with His Royal Majesty this morning. So we're very happy about this. Of course, the substantive aspect of the visit will come in this afternoon, when we will be meeting with the Prime Minister himself, Mr. Hun Sen, and the other officials of government. But this morning was an exchange of pleasantries with the two chiefs of state, and we were also fortunate to go to the historic monument where the president had laid wreath to the Independence Memorial here in Cambodia, as well as thereafter to lay a wreath on the King Father, the former king of Cambodia, Norodom Sihanouk. So that was the activity for this morning, and we are very happy that it went very smooth and very successfully. Thank you.
Okay.
There are going to be 4 MOUs that are going to be signed during this particular state visit. And we'd like to ask now Sec Roman Lopez to elucidate on trade.
Yes, good morning, everyone. So for trade and industry and investment, we look forward to this afternoon's meeting as we meet with our counterparts, especially Minister Pan Sorasak of the Ministry of Trade of Cambodia. As you know, he has been part of the discussions in ASEAN as well as the ASEAN RCEP. So this is one of our agenda, just to discuss how we can push forward the discussions in ASEAN RCEP when we reconvene towards March next year. And as well as discuss possible trade opportunities. As you know, we are exporting a lot of products to Cambodia, mostly in the areas of automotive parts, ignition wiring, medicaments, a bit of apparel, and then other products that we import as well from Cambodia would be products where they're also good at. Apparently, they are good, of course, as well as in garments and other personal care products. We also import from them some semiconductor inputs, no? Yes, as inputs to semiconductors that we re-export. So these are often some activities and trade products that we shall continue to explore to enhance trading with Cambodia in terms of investments. As you may know, there are a couple of Filipino companies already operating in Cambodia, trying to take advantage of the growth prospects in Cambodia. So we have companies like San Miguel, Liwai, Davis Spades, and other Filipino companies. I think Penshop is also here. So we can see Filipino brands also expanding in this part of the world, and more so taking advantage as well of the free trade agreement that we have within ASEAN. And of course, you know, Cambodia is part of the ASEAN 10. A lot of opportunities, I guess, both ways. Filipino companies expanding to the Cambodian market, as well as our intention to invite them to invest also in the Philippines. In this case, Cambodia, we met some, and we will be meeting some business chambers this afternoon. There will be some business calls this afternoon, both from Cambodian investors looking for opportunities for investments in the Philippines, and as well as Filipino companies based here in Cambodia. So at the same time, looking at Cambodian businessmen investing in the Philippines. They are usually interested in the areas of tourism projects, resorts, finance. So there are financing companies also operating in the Philippines. So but that's it for now. We'll be reporting back later on the outcome of the discussion with the private sector. Thank you.
Thank you, Secmon. Another MOU will be regarding tourism, and we'd like Secwan to just give us a few pointers again.
We'll focus on air connectivity. We would like to have a direct flight from Phnom Penh to the Philippines, because right now we don't have one. What we have is from Siem Reap, Cebu Pacific fly Siem Reap to Manila, and none from Phnom Penh. And we would like, and because of this, if we have a direct flight, I'm sure the the arrivals of Cambodian people to the Philippines will increase, because right now what we have is only around 2,000 to 3,000 a year. And like for Filipinos going to Cambodia, it's around 70,000. It's not balanced. And we would also like to invite media people and tour operators to come to the Philippines, so they would know our country, and so they could promote our country. And next is investors. We would like investors to come to our country and invest on hotels and resorts. And last is exchange of students and professionals, so they would know about more of our country. I think that would be our focus on the memorandum of understanding, and we'll give you a copy of that once we have it signed.
Thank you, Secwan. We'd like to ask now Sec Bello to give some pointers.
Thank you, Sec Ernie. I was informed earlier this morning that the contract, the MOU or MOA, was presented to Secretary Junas USI, because we don't have a polo office here. And since they have the consulate here, they referred the matter to SecUSI. So I'm not aware of the contents of the memorandum of agreement. But I presume that the reason for that is that we don't have much problem about our OFWs here. In fact, there are more OFWs as far as Asian countries are concerned. So probably the memorandum of agreement that will be signed by Secretary of Foreign Affairs, Jun Yasai, will be on foreign affairs matters, not on labor matters.
Yeah, it's worthy to know. Naalala ko lang that the OFWs here are looked up to. I mean, it's yes, it's we're proud to say that the Filipinos here are more of the professionals, engineers, architects, teachers, and we've been hearing feedback that they are well loved, liked here and in Cambodia, because they're really part of the human capital development as well as business services that they provide to Cambodian economy. In that regard, also, we consider that as one export bright spot. In other words, providing professional services to Cambodian businesses, no? That likes of what we mentioned: construction, engineering, architecture. When it comes to products, I might have to add also, apparently we have good potentials for cosmetic products as well. And since Cambodia is an agricultural country, aside from what we mentioned earlier, there's a good market here for Philippine-made fertilizers. No? So these are just other products that we can promote here in Cambodia. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We'll open the floor now for a few questions and for
Okay,
a few questions.
Tina of Philippine Star.
Good afternoon, sir. In relation to the issues back in Manila, Secretary Aguirre has written the Office of the President recommending the termination of the 2 BI commissioners involved in the Fontana National Park controversy. Any confirmation or any action taken by the Office of the President, sir?
All right. I conferred with ES, Executive Secretary, and he said they have not yet officially received the letter. So, but anyway, what will happen is the letter will have to be verified, will have to be validated, and then once verified, it will be referred to the Office of the President, to the President himself, and they will await action regarding the matter.
Thank you, sir. By the way, sir, last night in the President's speech, he mentioned that maski kaibigan ko, pag may nangyari dyan na corruption under sayo, I am sorry, maybe even you would have to resign. The President is directing his statement to whom?
As far as based on the context, he's referring to the person involved.
Does it necessarily mean Secretary Aguirre?
It does not necessarily mean Secretary
There are
Aguirre.
corruption activities right now under his department.
It does not necessarily mean Secretary Aguirre.
Okay, Jam Sante of GMA.
Sir, in relation to the Jack Lam issue, Secretary Togade said Jack Lam also approached him during his child's wedding and nagbigay rin daw po ng object to show appreciation, pero tumanggi siya. Do you think, is this something that the palace would look into further? Kasi meron din attempt, kumbaga magbigay ng something kay Secretary Togade.
It will have to be verified and it will have to be validated. Yes, whatever that something is.
Okay, Belia of Bandera.
So going back dun sa extortion allegations against BOC officials, is it alarming that despite the campaign of the President, and then we have only 6 months in our term, pero ganito yung nangyayari na parang walang takot yung mga officials despite alam naman natin na sinasabi ni Pangulo na talagang ayaw niya ng corruption, pero ganito pa rin ang ginagawa sa BOC.
Well, first, we have to give them the benefit of the doubt. No? We have to find out the veracity of the allegation on extortion. Now, as you said, if it is true that they were involved in extortion, I think the only honorable thing for them to do is to leave their office to save the president the burden of dismissing them. But having said that, you know for a fact that the crusade of the president is anti-corruption. So it's not a guarantee, no? Kasi the very reason why the president has gone into this crusade is because of the reality that corruption pervades the government, especially before he came in. Kaya niya diniin yung kampanya niya against corruption. Pero, siyempre, hindi mo rin maalis na nandiyan pa rin. And probably they're trying the patience of the president. Pero, doon sila nagkakamali.
And then sir, kasi parang napaka nung ginagawa nila sir, after na may mahuli, tapos i-present pa nila, inamin nila, tapos, di ba, kung hindi ka ba mahuhuli, hindi mo pa aaminin na merong extortion or merong ka tinanggap na money? Parang, di ba, ano yun, naglululokan ba tayo? Di ba parang ganun, sir?
Well, you have to understand their position because, it's not only a question of losing their job. It might also mean losing their liberty. So they have to put up already their defense. At this stage, dinalabas nila yung depensa nila. So normal lang yung nagagawin nila yan. Especially if they're assisted by lawyers. And especially if they're lawyers themselves.
Last question from Lyla. Okay, other matters? Okay, Jem?
Sir, just about the President's health, can we get a clarification lang po on how serious his injury or spinal issue is? Kasi some health experts are saying na yung fentanyl na pinatake kay President, it's only prescribed to people na medyo matindi yung problema dun sa spine. Gano'n po ba talaga kaseryoso?
Ako, I'm not a doctor, no? Pero if the President is doing what he is doing, mahirap tanggapin kung ganitong edad namin dalawa. Yung nagagawa niya, hindi nagagawa ng somebody who is sick. So he must be in his peak of his health. Kasi ako, nahirapan nga ako, labor lang ang hawak ko. Sa kanya, buong bureaucracy hawak niya. And if you only saw him how he worked last, when was that? The day before we left. He worked the whole day. I think that was 26 hours. Continuous, non-stop. And talking about problems, facing challenges. I don't think the President has any illness or any illness of concern.
Matapos tayong 1:30, meeting pa siya.
Meron pa siyang meeting.
Okay, last question from Lyla.
Sir, good afternoon. Sir, what do you say to suggestions from Congressman, I think Zarate, for Malacanang to issue medical bulletins to update the public on the President's health, since it's also a public concern, because he's the leader of the country. What do you think of such suggestions? Secretary Abelio. And Secretary Abelio.
I don't think it's that necessary, no? What you see is what you get. Kung nakita niyo si Presidente naglilib sana na hindi niya kaya yung ginagawa niya ngayon, then you can have some doubts about his health. Pero kung nakikita mo ang ginagawa niya, that the four of us here can do with difficulty, then that's the time maybe when we ask him to give his health the bulletin. Pero super healthy siya eh. Hindi ko maintindihan kung saan niya nakukuha yung energy niya.
Based on results, he's doing very, very well. Like the Secretary was saying earlier, that the night before we left, he was up. And, we started our briefing at about 12 midnight, and finished about 1:30. And he was still going. So based on results, he's doing very well. And whatever pains and he's experiencing is basically, as the doctors would say, basically wear and tear. It's part of the territory. So nothing to be afraid about, nothing to be concerned about. He's doing fine.
Secretary Belio, sir, on another topic. Sir, how are the talks with the communist rebels? Are you going to meet before your scheduled meeting in January? Because Security Advisor Esperon mentioned something last night about a possible meeting before the ceasefire before your January meeting.
Yeah, on the 26th up to 29, palagay ko tutuloy na lang hanggang New Year yun. Our ceasefire committee will meet with their ceasefire committee to arrive at a consensus on the definition of terms and conditions that will govern the proposed joint permanent ceasefire. Yun. Pag nakapagkasundo sila sa definition of terms like what is considered a hostile act, or where is the buffer zone where their forces can get in or out, and where our forces can get in or out, and they can agree on who the referees are in case of violations, then we will be ready to sign a bilateral permanent ceasefire. So they have to go there even before we meet them on January 18 to the 25th.
And by January, you're expected to sign the bilateral if the December talks go as planned.
Yung December talks.
If
January,
December
yeah.
talks.
Yeah,
January na yung
hopefully, pagka nakasundo sila, we may have to go on a special trip just for the signing of the joint bilateral permanent ceasefire. I'm emphasizing yung permanent because it could result into the end of hostilities, which is one of the main objective of the peace process.
January, sir, yung target.
Yung aming
Joint bilateral.
It could be before the next round of talks.
Thank you so much, Secretary Bello, Secretary Lopez, and Secretary Wanda Teo, and of course, spokesperson Secretary Abella. So thank you, media friends.
Thank you very much.